This is the little song that wanted to be a symphony, as performed by the Eastman Rochester Symphony Orchestra under conductor Howard Hanson. The music is by American classical composer William Grant Still, with words by Verna Arvey.
Once upon a time, up in Music Land, a little song was born. He was only 4 notes big. Now that wasn't very big at all, but he was happy to be alive. Soon the little song, young though he was, felt it high time for him to choose his life work and decided to ask the advice of his elders. Just then there came strolling by a big melody, so important that his chest stuck way out. The big melody said, "Why don't you do as I did? I went to Earth and visited a great composer. He put me into a symphony." The little song was deeply impressed. "And what did you do then?" he asked. "Did you travel and see the rest of the world?" "Oh, no," replied the big melody with a superior air. "I only wanted to see the inside of concert halls, and that was exactly what I did. Every year I get played once in every big auditorium, and the people who come to hear me rest their heads on their hands, sigh, and say how beautiful I am." The little song was more impressed than ever. He decided to be important too. So he slipped away by himself and tried very hard indeed. He didn't like that at all. So he went back to the big melody and said, "Being big isn't much fun." "You're just a child," replied the big melody. Somewhat surprised, the little song asked, "Don't you like children?" "Oh, I like children, but they don't understand me. What really matters is that all the important people like me." Well, thought the little song, someone must think of the children. If no one else will do it, I will. I'll visit the young people and try to make them take me into their hearts. And the big melody strutted away, well pleased with himself. The little song watched him go. The little song floated down to earth and landed in America. In the colorful land of dry mesas, he saw a grassy canyon. In it, an Indian boy was tending a herd of sheep. There was an air of solitude and peace around him, for he lived close to God. As the little song came near, the boy lifted the flute to his lips, and this is what he played. Now the little shepherd will never forget me, thought the little song. So I must be on my way. Soon he came to a shady spot near a bayou, where oak trees and Spanish moss made long shadows on the water. Mother with her baby. The child cried, so the mother rocked it gently. As she rocked, she sang this lullaby. Far away, near the blue Pacific Ocean, a little girl was on her way to a festival. She was dressed in a fancy costume, for this was a great day. Near the southern border of the United States, two Latin American children were learning ancient crafts from their parents. The little boy was making baskets while his sister sat at a loom, weaving sarapes to be sold in curio shops. The boy tapped his feet as he worked. The little song drew near. Then the little girl started humming like this. On the east side of a great city, a little colored girl sat alone, brooding over the problems she had heard the grown-ups discussing. Her heart was heavy. The little song wanted to show her that she was not alone, that the future was not all dark, and that she would find many friends. So he joined her as she hummed. The clatter of tambourines came into the air, and with it, the little song sensed a new adventure. He hurried over to a schoolyard where he found a group of boys and girls dancing the tarantella. They were dressed in bright costumes their parents had brought from the old country. When the little song decided to share their fun, the dance music sounded like this. The little song couldn't rest until he had explored every nook and cranny of the big city. So, in between towering buildings and bustling traffic, he found a pleasant place with trees and grass. He came nearer and discovered that it was a park. He also discovered two young people sitting on a bench, looking into each other's eyes and telling each other all their hopes and dreams. The little song was curious to know what they were saying, so he came closer. Then, surprisingly enough, something of himself seemed to come from their lips. It was a long journey from the land of skyscrapers to the mountains, where people were dancing as their great-great-grandparents had danced in England. But the little song made it in no time at all. It was a grand party. Fiddlers were playing, couples were square dancing, and those who were watching were clapping hands and patting feet. As soon as the little song joined in, all the people welcomed him and knew that they had found a new tune.
Swing your honey round and round, promenade right back to town. Kick your heels, circle high, let your honey pass you by. First two couples in and out, swing your honey, don't you pout. All the rest do the same, help your honey play this game. Down the center through the gate, watch your honey, don't be late. Ladies left, gents go right, mind your places, don't you fight.
Inside of a concert hall, so he found one and peeked in. But the concert was over. The musicians were packing up their instruments to go home, and they didn't even know he was there. Wonderful time on earth anyway. Even if he hadn't become a symphony, best of all, he had made friends with the children who belonged to America. Now he felt that he had helped to draw them together in friendship. People loved him and remembered him kindly, and that was all he wanted. His heart swelled in a great song of thanksgiving.